watching Craig, Chris, and Andy.
Hey guys, welcome to the second edition of Afternoon Delight. Andy and Chris, you alright guys? What are you laughing for? Why is that so funny?
I'm good, thanks, Craig. Yeah.
Thank you, Christopher. Andrew, how are you?
I'm all right. I think it might have missed a little bit of your little jingle out at the start, but I think it's all right.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. I'll put it on the old Facebook page after, and so people can see it. Or listen to it.
Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.
Plug straight away. Have you been up to much then, Andy?
Not really. No, I haven't really. Well, obviously, I haven't left the house apart from a little bit of a walk every day, and no, just working mainly.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. What about you?
Not too much. Not too much. Same old thing. Going for a nice walk as we can at the moment, and that's about it. To be honest with you, not much we can do. Looking after the old kids, but yeah. So I was excited to get painting the fence. I've managed to paint 3 fence panels a day. I'm quite pleased with that. So I've got 3/4 of the way around in 2 weeks. So chuffed with that performance. Chris, what have you been up to?
Not a great deal, to be honest. Spend my life chasing a one-year-old around the house at the moment.
Oh, nice.
And then nothing else.
Seems to have got you down, to be honest.
Life's pretty bad, guys.
It is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. That's why we're here. We're here to cheer everyone else up.
Yeah. I feel a little bit like you two are quite organised with your position, and I really shouldn't be sat on the bed again. But I'm here now, so.
I know we did discuss this about you your positioning on the old bed.
You do look like a paraplegic or something. You just rest the laptop on you.
Hello. I've got all my limbs. I was planning
your legs. That's the question.
I was planning on sitting downstairs at the dining room table, and then I thought, if I'm going to be sat up here for an hour, I'd rather be comfortable. But I'll definitely try for the 3rd episode, especially if we go live. Then I might try and sit somewhere a bit more respectable. But
spoilers right there, Andy. Spoilers.
Where's Lauren?
She's downstairs. She promised me a cup of tea, but it hasn't materialised yet. So hopefully, at some point during this broadcast, we might get something.
Fingers crossed.
So, Craig, what's the gig with this whole thing then?
Well, so I'm glad you asked, Andrew. I'm glad you asked. As you can hear from the start, if you heard a bit of it, the new jingle has been shortened, so you know it's more direct to what we're trying to achieve, which is a bit of Afternoon Delight. Got a new Facebook page going out there, so we'll get that out there during the next week, so people can see it. I'll start sharing that. So again, sorry.
What's it called?
It's Afternoon Delight. CCA. Afternoon Delight. Craig, Chris, and Andy. Got a Twitter account which I'm setting up, which isn't finalised yet. So I'll get that out there on the Facebook page and out there to everyone. Got an email address: afternoondelightcca@hotmail.com for any questions. If you're not on Facebook or you just want to ask a few bits and pieces or inquire about us, I don't know, anything, so that's there. And I've got a logo in production as well. Yeah, an official logo. Yeah, in production. So that'll be on the Facebook page when it's done. So exciting times. Yeah. So we almost feel that actually this is actually going to go somewhere. So yeah, we'll see.
It's really kicking on.
Even if it doesn't, then it'll be fun for the time that we're doing it. And if it does go somewhere, then let the money roll in.
This is it. This is it. So
we're going on tour this time next year.
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed.
I did see that Peter Crouch has got more podcasts coming out next week, and I did think that he's maybe under the radar. He's seen what we've started doing and thought he needs to step his game up. So
yeah, I understand that. I mean, you don't get 80 views on YouTube, you know what I mean, without having some class. So we're putting it out there, boys.
69 of the views were you. Just checking how many people have been on there.
Well, 80 I've got, Andy. 80. 15 or 16 of me. So
like.
Okay. So this week I let's say challenge you guys, ask you guys to look for your best, or I think more favourite England 11, because I think if we put the best England 11, it would probably come out similar. So favourite England 11 from sort of Euro 96 onwards until present day, and just discuss around that. So sort of same format as last week then. We'll start with Andy. We'll go straight in there. So goalkeeper, Andy, who's your goalkeeper for England?
Okay, well, I thought this was going to be controversial, but then having looked at a bit of some of the stats afterwards, I think possibly might not be, and I've got a feeling at least one of you's probably gone the same. So,
Right.
as this is post 96, my goalkeeper that I put down is Joe Hart.
Okay.
Shall I tell you why now, or wait? You've told me yours.
No, go on.
Go ahead.
I can't exactly remember what goalkeepers we've had in between the time of, let's say, where David Seaman was probably the last goalkeeper before Joe Hart, where I felt we got a proper good goalkeeper that would rarely make a mistake. And I know Seaman made a few mistakes when he was getting lobbed and all that sort of stuff, but he was pretty solid. And I think we went through a long phase of having some fairly dodgy goalkeepers making mistakes. Paul Robinson, Scott Carson, and what have you. And I just remember thinking when Joe Hart came in, and obviously with him being fairly local as well, but when he got into the England team, I thought, yes, we've finally got a goalkeeper who can actually make saves, grab the ball from crosses.
What is that?
What is that noise?
I don't know.
It's gone. It's gone. Continue on.
Yeah, well, I've forgotten what I was saying now, but basically, he was the first goalkeeper I'd known in ages where I thought, or I felt comfortable that he was between the sticks and he wasn't going to make a load of mistakes. And I think we had that with him for the 40-odd caps that he got.
Yeah. Okay. I think Chris made that sound on purpose just to cut you off, Andy. To be honest with you. I think it's intentional. Go on, Chris. Goalkeeper.
Okay. I've gone slightly different to Andrew. I've gone for the legendary David Seaman.
Okay. Explain.
For three reasons and three reasons only. I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
Go on.
Ready? Reason one, the moustache.
Yeah.
Reason
Given.
two, the ponytail.
Yeah.
And reason three, it's a funny name.
I knew you were going to say the name.
Wow. I do remember after we beat Spain in the quarterfinals of Euro 96, where I think the headline the next morning was Seaman's on everyone's name is on everyone's lips or something.
Yeah.
So that was always fairly amusing.
And also, class goalkeeper.
He was good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I forgot ponytail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Loving the ponytail. Because he's completely changed now, and he shaved off the old tash, short hair.
Yeah, he's got a nice little do now.
Yeah, it's a lovely little do. I've gone David Seaman as well. Just really composed, relaxed goalkeeper. Yes, he made the error against Ronaldinho, but other than that, pretty composed goalkeeper. Defenders, you could tell, felt confident with him in goal. Yeah, that's basically it, really. We didn't. With the goalkeeper, it was very difficult. Like Andy said, there's not many goalkeepers who have been between 96 and current day, which is crazy, who've really sort of remained or been there for a long time. So Joe Hart, David Seaman's really it. You've had the likes of David James, who've been in there, Carson, very briefly. Now we've got Pickford in, who I don't really rate. Good shot stopper, but really prone to mistakes. And that's the thing, every England goalkeeper has made an error or errors at different times, haven't they? So I think it was a difficult choice, but I think, Joe Hart, David Seaman seem to be the most likely choices.
Arms.
Who?
Jordan
Oh,
Pickford.
yeah. I know, yeah. I don't rate him. I don't think he'll be there long.
I'd like to see if someone else get a chance in goal for England.
Yeah, I think there'll be someone else in there soon. Henderson, you never know.
Jordan Henderson.
Not Jordan Henderson, no.
Get him out of the midfield.
give him a shot. Better than Pickford, surely. Okay, defence. Who wants to go first with defence?
Go ahead, Andrew. Keep the same order, shall we?
So for all of our 5 or 6 people that may have watched the first episode of this thing. I've gone the same as I did in my Premier League 11. So I've gone Neville, Ashley Cole. That's Gary Neville, not Phil Neville. Phil Neville doesn't get anywhere near this team. Gary Neville, Ashley Cole, Rio Ferdinand, and John Terry.
Okay. I could ask you to elaborate, but I guess it would be the same reasons as last time, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I looked up all the positions and tried to see what other players had a decent amount of caps in those positions, and there wasn't really any. I mean, at right back, I did quite like the time when Glenn Johnson was playing right back for a bit for England, and maybe Nathaniel Klein, both being Liverpool players as well. But Gary Neville's been the best right back we've had in a while, and then it was pretty much the same in the other positions.
Okay.
One player I didn't put into my defence that I'd got on my subs bench was Sol Campbell. I thought was worth a shout because he was class for a period of time, wasn't he?
Top class player, wasn't
Yeah, he was. Really was.
That's fine.
All right, Chris, what have you got? Don't say the same.
he? No, I haven't gone the same. this time.
Oh, excellent.
I've thrown a couple of wobblies in.
Wobblies.
And what I mean by that is these are players that might not be considered. Well, one of them will never be considered in England best. But the reason I've included him is because one of my best England memories includes him. Right.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of the obvious ones first. I've got John Terry and Ashley Cole in
Okay.
for the same reasons as last week.
Yeah.
Go watch last week's if you missed that.
That's on YouTube.
Right. And the first one, I've gone for a career destroyed by injuries, Ledley King.
Controversial decision.
Mm. He's on the screen right now. What's the chances of that?
Okay.
World class. He would have been. I genuinely think if it wasn't for injuries, he would have gone on to be potentially England's greatest centre back.
Mm.
If
It's
not,
a shame.
definitely up there.
He's a
I
really
think.
competent goalkeeper. Fucking hell, defender.
He's
He's really
power.
good, consistent. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
The clue's in the surname, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely.
Go on. Next one. Who's the other one?
This is the weird one.
Oh, here we go.
You're probably going to judge me for this one. But the reason I've included him is because of World Cup 2018. Right.
Kyle Walker.
Nah. Kieran Trippier.
Oh God.
Oh, come on. Come on now.
No,
He's
let me
Spanish,
explain. I didn't want to put Gary Neville in just because he was Mr. Reliable, sure, but I wasn't a massive fan of watching him play generally, really. So I wanted to get someone in there with a bit of excitement. I didn't want Kyle Walker because I don't really rate him as a defender. I don't really rate Trippier as a defender either. I also don't rate Kyle Walker going forward. All he is pace and power.
Yeah.
Right. But Trippier, the way he played World Cup 2018 and that free kick against Croatia, one of the most exciting moments for me as an England fan.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead in the semi-final against Croatia.
Yeah.
And that's basically the reason I put him in the team.
Well, that's what this is. It's a favourite 11 in a sense. It doesn't have to be the best. It doesn't have to be
Not necessarily my favourite player, but
yeah,
he created one of my favourite moments as an England fan.
Absolutely. I've gone quite boring. Gary Neville right back, certainly boring. And I kind of regret putting it now with Chris's explanation because he was kind of consistent but never really set the world alight. I mean, a lot of caps and played well but didn't play amazing. Didn't really. I don't remember a performance in where I sort of went, "Oh, Neville's brilliant there." But I put Sol Campbell in just because I remember him playing for England and being really consistent. Loving watching him play. Always felt confident with him there. John Terry I put in as well. And then left back, I put in Stuart Pearce as my left back. Like to see him play. I remember '96 when scored those penalties and everything. I've always liked Stuart Pearce. So yeah.
Here's a question.
Go on.
What's the problem with Ashley Cole, Craig?
If this,
I don't like Ashley Cole.
hey Chris, If he had the choice, he'd be sticking Gareth Bale there at left back.
I did put him in, but I realised that he wasn't English. So yeah, he was in, but I had to take him out. But
I got a question. How many? If this is post '96, how many caps did Pearce have after 1996?
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He played for England until 1999.
Hey,
He played for England until 1999, so 3 years after 96.
That's all the information we need. Well done, Craig.
Thank you. Done my homework, Andrew.
very good.
Midfielders. I think we should move to Chris for midfielders. It's a bit of a mixture up in case he's got the same players as Andy's got for
Okay.
his opinions. Go on.
I don't think I have because again I've gone for a couple of strange ones.
Go on.
Right mid, I've got David Beckham. It's not a strange one.
No.
You know, lots and lots of caps,
Yeah.
lots and lots of iconic moments. The right foot of dreams, a face and hair of dreams. It's just-
Which ones in which order? The face and the air, or the iconic moments?
well, most of the iconic moments are just the many hairstyles that he sported. Yeah,
Beautiful man.
he
Gotta be-
belongs in the team.
That free kick against Greece got to be the standard one.
One of
I
the
think.
greatest David Beckham moment for England, I would say.
Absolutely incredible. You watch it now, and it's still like hairs in your arms. You know what I mean? It's just incredible. I think it's a commentary as well. The commentary is incredible for it.
It was last minute of the game, wasn't it?
Oh, it's just unbelievable. It's so good. Was that the game that Sheringham came on at half time, basically turned the game? Is that right?
Got me, Craig. I don't know.
I think Sheringham came on at half time or second half. I think he came in the second half, and he won the free kick. And did he score the other goal? I can't remember. But Sheringham turned that game, I think. But the free kick was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Great moment, wasn't it?
Great moment. Fantastic. Go on then. So Beckham.
Okay.
What else?
Here's a strange one. You're probably going to judge me for this one as well. My first centre mid, Owen Hargreaves.
Oh, I had him on my bench.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Owen
Yeah,
Hart.
I thoroughly enjoyed him for England.
so did I.
I didn't. I hated Scholes for England. I hated Lampard for England. Either of them ever showed up, so they weren't getting anywhere near my team.
Yeah.
I thought when Hargreaves, because he was at Bayern Munich at the time, wasn't he? I thought when he came into the England team, he brought something different, and he settled the English midfield, and I just thought he was great.
Yeah.
I like watching him play.
It's fair enough.
One of the weirdest accents I've ever heard. Owen Hargreaves.
Quite.
Like
All over the place.
half Canadian, half German, half English, half something else.
That doesn't work, Andy.
Oh, yeah.
That
That's
doesn't
gonna
work.
be at least a
There's two
third.
people in it.
But no, his accent's like mad. But yeah, I don't know. Owen Hargreaves, to be honest, I don't really know. He was always there, wasn't he? In terms of in the squad, and he was playing for Bayern Munich. We didn't really see much of him live or see him play because he was playing in Germany. I didn't really see much of him. But obviously for England, he was. I don't know. He was fairly consistent, wasn't he? I don't know. One of them players that again didn't set the world alight, but then that sort of player always gets kind of missed in a team, doesn't it? You know what I mean, a lot of players get kind of missed. You don't really talk about them that much. And I think particularly in that era, players playing that role weren't really talked about and were kind of forgotten. You know, the commentary never really mentioned them, yet they were still quite an integral part. So yeah, that's fair enough.
He was dogged by injury as well, wasn't he? Owen Hargreaves.
No, he was, yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
He played for City, didn't he?
Was it United?
Did he play for City and United?
I don't know. Can't remember. I know he was at
I don't think
United.
he played for City. I think it's just United.
I thought he played for City.
Find out while Chris
I'll look
mentions
him up.
his next player.
Yeah, go on.
Go on then.
All right, get the obvious one out of the way. Steven Gerrard.
Really?
Yeah, I said it last week. Out of the three, Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, I thought Gerrard was the one that always showed up for England.
Mm.
And
Did he score some goals?
that was the thing about England. It wasn't all. That was the thing about Gerrard, I should say. He technically brilliant, but it wasn't always about his technical brilliance. I didn't think he always gave 100%, and he was box to box midfielder, he'd fight the same way Rooney would, and then he'd pop up with important goals. And
But did you think he didn't score as many goals as Lampard? Do you think he put in as much effort as he did for Liverpool? Do you think he put it in every single game? I think sometimes. I love Gerrard. I absolutely love Gerrard. Hence the shirt. But I sometimes felt that in an English shirt, sometimes I just wanted him to give more. I was like, come on, Gerrard, pull England through now. Come on, and I never saw it. Beckham, I saw trying his hardest all the time. Gerrard sometimes did disappear in games. I don't know why, but I just felt he did.
Oh yeah, he was never at his best.
No.
Never at his best, but he was a class above Lampard and Scholes for England still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was one after Beckham had gone. It was in that period when it was mainly Gerrard and Lampard as
Well, he was captain, wasn't he, Gerrard? Then after me.
Yeah, I think there was a qualifier or some game when I remember didn't he took it on himself, and scored an amazing goal from I can't even remember what he did. It might have been against Macedonia or somebody.
It was Macedonia, edge of the box. The ball came sort of back towards him, and he volleyed it, didn't he, from the edge of the box? Yeah. We drew 2-2. I think we drew 2-2. But yeah, he drove that game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just coming back to Owen Hargreaves, you're not going to believe this.
Okay, go on.
Well, other people that watch this probably will because they probably know the answer, but based on what we've just said. So he played 145 times for Bayern Munich between 2000 and 2007.
Yeah.
Then he played for Manchester United from 2007 to 2011 and only managed 27 games in 4 years. For Man United, yeah. 27 games in 4 years.
Are you joking?
Hence the injuries. And then guess what? In 2011 to 2012, he went to Man City and he played 1 game.
No.
Yeah.
We should know.
Playing for City.
Yeah, the 1 game that he played for City before he retired.
We should know that, but that's awful. 27 games for United.
I thought he played more than that. I remember scoring a couple of free kicks for United.
Yeah, that is shocking.
He scored 2 goals for United, so that's actually 2 free kicks.
Was that just 27 games or 27 Premier League games?
I think it said 27 appearances, so I'm presuming it's all.
That's shocking.
Isn't it?
That's shocking. That is, really is. Okay, go on the midfielders and Chris. Next one.
All right, I struggled with this one, but I wanted to get someone who played on the left in for England.
Yeah.
So I've thrown Joe Cole in.
Yeah.
He excited me.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of him. I toyed with the idea of Ashley Young because there was a time when Ashley Young was England's best player, I thought.
Was I asleep during that period?
At what point do I jump in and shut you down on this? Ashley Young was England's best player.
I thought for a time.
Chris, I'm going to on the Facebook page, on our Facebook page, I'm going to quote you on this, so I can tell you about it every single time. England's best player.
I thought for a short period of time, because I thought that he's been deteriorating for a long time now. But when he was playing left wing, it might have been sort of back end of his Villa days, early Man United career. I can't remember the time scale, but that's my view. Back off.
Okay, that's fine.
But Joe Cole for me, because I just loved him. I loved him as a player. I thought he was great.
So I got against Sweden. I can't remember what championship was. I got against Sweden was just amazing. I think I was in Kavos at the time, and he scored, and we went mental. Got absolutely hammered. But no, see, Joe Cole, I don't know. Internationally, I always liked him. I always liked him playing for England. In club career, he always was a bit missing. I mean, for Liverpool, I was so chuffed when we signed him. I thought, what a signing! He's going to be absolutely brilliant. And for whatever reason, it just didn't happen, did it? For Joe Cole,
the beginning of the end for Joe Cole. That wasn't even.
I know, but yeah.
Chelsea days with the ones when he was quality at Chelsea.
Yeah. But no, good player, great. One of those players that had great talent, skillful, like you say, excited.
Bit of va-va-voom, didn't he?
Bit of va-va-voom in a generally boring England team.
Didn't Gerrard say once when Joe Cole first signed for Liverpool, Gerrard said something ridiculous like Joe Cole had got the ball skills of Lionel Messi or something? he basically compared him to Messi at that point. But then I think Joe Cole got sent off in his first appearance for Liverpool, didn't he?
Really?
Against Arsenal, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was at that.
Yes, yeah, he did. But the thing is, though, Joe Cole's probably very skillful, but just because he's skillful doesn't mean he can do it in a game. Do you know what I mean? You got to actually do it on the big stage. But it's that question, isn't it? You know, Lionel Messi, bring him to the Premier League, how will he play? He's a great player, don't be wrong, and certainly he'd be a good player. I'm not saying he would be terrible, but it's a different kind of game, Premier League to the Spanish League, 100%. And how would he do? You know?
Right. Perhaps a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
It is. Indeed it is. Is that, you got another midfielder to go, Chris, or is that all of them?
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. I'll go with mine. I went David Beckham on the right midfield. I don't think he's the most technically gifted player, but for England, just phenomenal. No need to say anything else. He was just Mr. England, wasn't he? He was brilliant. I kind of cheated a little bit. I had Paul Gascoigne central midfield, and I presume he played more attacking or whatever. But Paul Gascoigne was just an incredible player. I mean, probably before Euro '96. I mean, Euro '96 was a great player, but before that, probably was more of his peak.
Yeah, I never remember watching Gascoigne play personally.
Just an incredible player. I remember seeing him a couple of times before Euro '96, and obviously Euro '96 he scored that goal against Scotland, which was iconic, and then had a great tournament. Just missed that chance against Germany in the semi-final, which it's just such a shame. If he'd anticipated a bit more, he'd have scored it. But just a great player. I did cheat. I put Wayne Rooney in the central midfield, more attacking base, very similar to what you did last week, Chris, because I couldn't not have Rooney in the team. Because just an incredible player and the amount of goals he scored. So I put him in central midfield, more attacking midfield. And then I put a really random one in, which I know you'll laugh at.
It's the Steve Guppy one.
No, this isn't the Steve Guppy.
For Stuart Downing.
It's not Stuart Downing, but what an incredible player. Stuart Downing had so much promise. He was so fast, and then he got to the point where he had to do something, and he was absolutely shocking.
Francis Jeffers had promise.
I put in Trevor Sinclair.
Quincy had promise.
Quincy promise. Shut up. I put Trevor Sinclair in left midfield.
Oh, Trevor Sinclair, Mr. Bicycle Kick.
So we had 12 caps, which isn't much, but I remember, and I can't remember for the life of me now, who went off injured. I can't even remember the tournament, to be honest with you. I think it's when we beat Argentina 1-0, Beckham scored the old penalty. But he came on left midfield, and I think he played 2-3 games left midfield, and it was a point where I can't remember who was playing left midfield. I don't know who it was, but they went off, and I thought, oh, great, who are we going to put there? Because like you said, Chris, left midfield, for me, was such a tricky decision to pick. There's not many gifted left midfielders. You see, all the managers never were able to choose a left midfielder that was good enough.
I think that's why Stuart Downing played as many games as he did for England.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only left-sided midfielder we had.
They tried Gerrard over there at various points. It didn't work. Tried various players over there who weren't positioned there. It wasn't their main position. Danny Welbeck, I think, even played left midfield at some point. But Trevor Sinclair, in that particular tournament, what I remember, he came on a sub, and I thought, oh, great, here we go. And he was incredible. For I think it was only 3 games that tournament or something like that, but he was absolutely brilliant. And this is a memory that I have of how fantastic he was. And I can't remember who. I think I even spoke to Keynesy at some point and said, oh my God, he's absolutely amazing. He's played phenomenally. And I think he played 12 times, and that was it. But I remember that. So I put Sinclair in my top 11 England players for remembering that. So that's my midfield. I know I cheated a little bit with Wayne Rooney, but go on, Andy.
He plays centre mid for Derby now, doesn't he? So
well, there we are. It's justified.
I reckon you've done a massive thing there for Trevor Sinclair, and I'm pretty sure Trevor Sinclair will probably be watching this at some point. So I reckon you've just made his day.
I hope so. I really enjoyed watching him play.
Trevor.
I didn't watch him for QPR, although he was amazing for QPR, of what I've been told. Although I'm a bit too old, a bit too young to say that.
Best goal ever.
The bicycle kick was incredible. I've heard about that. That along with Tony Yeboah's goal, of what I remember when I was very young. But yeah, Andy, go on, midfield.
I also had David Beckham. I also had Paul Gascoigne. I remember Gaza from probably a little bit earlier than you both
You
remember.
guys are a bit
Oh,
older
really,
than
Andrew? You look very young.
91 FA Cup final, playing for Spurs, incredible player. Obviously played amazing for Newcastle. Then he was on a bit of a downward trajectory, I think, once he went to Everton. But great player. Steven Gerrard, for all the reasons that you've already said. I also think that he didn't quite do it for England in the same way, and I sometimes think that that's because he was so used to and so focused and drilled on having to be a one-man team at Liverpool that when he actually went into a team with other players that were capable to play at his level, it then didn't somehow work for him, which is why we said last week that that's probably why he may not have worked as well at a Chelsea or another team, because he was that one-man sort of thing. And then my inside left wing, I would say, don't know whether you'll be surprised by this, but a current England player who, despite everything, whenever I watch England play, I want him on the ball, Raheem Sterling.
I'll allow it.
He's a very exciting England player, isn't he, to be fair?
Yeah. He scores goals. Obviously, he plays for City now, wasn't Liverpool, but he's one of those players in the current England crop, and when he's on the team sheet, I think there's a chance he's going to do something, and quite often he does, and obviously there's more to come from him. So I went with Sterling.
He wasn't really miles from mine.
Absolutely good choice. He's a great player. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal player, I think. Sterling. I think he could finish better. I think if he just had a finish, he'd have scored probably on top of what he's already scored, another half on top of. So if he scored on a 70-odd goal, he'd score on top.
Better now. He finishes better now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But he's still now, and I think every midfielder, even striker, is allowed to scupper a few. But even now, he misses some, and you think, just put your laces through it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, as much as I hate to say it, because he's a former Liverpool player, and I was gutted when he left us, and a bit bitter when he went to City. He has gone from strength to strength, and he's become that player that we expected him to be. So no, it's a fair choice. Fair choice indeed. Strikers, I shall go first on this one. I've gone for my good old pal Alan Shearer. No surprise there. Love the man. Just remember my biggest. There's so many memories of Alan Shearer in England shirt for me, which is strange, because I think I only remember a couple of tournaments really with him in. But that goal, the goal he scored against when they beat Netherlands, was it 4-0? Was it 4-0 we beat them comprehensively? And Shearer scoring a couple of goals on that was just incredible. His whole performance in that tournament was just amazing, and I remember it very well. I was at school at the time, and just brilliant. And I think he retired way too early from the England setup. I know he tried to allow other people to come through, but the people coming through weren't talented enough. They weren't good enough, and he should have stayed in the England team longer. But Alan Shearer's the one, and then other one I've got Michael Owen, because of how that Argentina goal was something else, beating Germany 5-1, and the goals he scored in that, just an incredible player. And again, dogged by injuries, and his career kind of fizzled out for him in the end. But yeah, there's my two strikers. Andy, on to you.
Okay, I have gone with England's highest goal scorer, Wayne Rooney. And that's it. And my other choice, again, current England player, and again, whenever England play, he looks like he's going to score, and he normally does. Harry Kane.
Interesting one, Andrew.
He's just a proper striker, isn't he?
His goal scoring record for England's class as well.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Caps to goals. It's just incredible.
Yeah. I think it's 40-odd caps, 30-odd goals. You can't argue that.
Is it 45 and 32-ish?
I'm not sure.
Just brilliant.
He's quality, and I actually think in some respects that he plays better for England than he does for Tottenham.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and that's rare, isn't it? I mean, I mean, he does well for Tottenham, no doubt about it. But it's rare for a player, especially in our era, if you can agree with that, to bring that kind of club performance into international. I can't remember a player, or I can't think of a player necessarily now, who is incredible for their international team, for their club team, and brings it into the international fold. I think it's been very rare that's actually happened, and it must be so difficult, the transition. It must be a different kind of play. It's slower play from the Premier League. I think that hinders it. But Kane seems to just score goals, which is what he said.
Kind of like the opposite to Gerrard in that at Tottenham, I genuinely don't think he gets the service that he needs or deserves.
Yeah,
he hasn't got the players around him.
Yeah,
he doesn't get the opportunities that he does for England. I don't think so. It's kind of like. And so he's constantly dropping deep, trying to get the ball.
Yeah.
He's not going to score as many goals being a striker that way. It's just not going to happen. Whereas it's different for England, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Him and Sterling work well together for England, I think.
Yes.
If we've got Sancho, or if it's going to be Hudson-Odoi, or whoever it's going to be on the other side, but having those two feeders and then Kane being like the focal point of the attack, I think it works quite well with England.
Yeah. He's the only player. I mean, I'm a Liverpool supporter naturally, but he's the only player that I've watched that can sometimes be selfish, and I'm like, be selfish, do it. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? He will score eventually. He will do it. Some players in our I'm going on a tangent now, but in the Liverpool team that I think sometimes take it on themselves. I think, well, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? With Harry Kane for England, I'm like, yeah, just do it. Just do it, because I know he can create something. I know he'll score. So no, good shout. Absolutely, his goal scoring record to caps is incredible. And how old is Kane?
26.
I know he's got injuries.
I want to say 26, 27, something like that.
He's not even in his prime yet.
Exactly. So I know he's had injuries, and he needs to. Hopefully, he stays away from any more.
I
but
think he needs to leave Tottenham.
Yeah, potential. He's got is incredible. I don't think he'll stay at Tottenham. I don't think he'll stay at Tottenham. I think he'll leave
on the decline.
Yeah, I don't think Mourinho is going to take Tottenham anywhere, and I think he realises that. And unless they change manager soon, he'll go.
Well, he's tried to take them somewhere this week, and he's got in trouble for it, hasn't he? So
one Andy, some news. I haven't seen this.
Didn't you see that Mourinho got in trouble with the authorities? I don't know whether it was the police or somebody, because he was seen on some green somewhere with some of his Tottenham players doing a training session during social distancing.
I've heard about Kyle Walker. I don't know if you've heard about Kyle Walker, but I've heard about him.
Yeah.
His isolation.
Prostitutes, weren't they?
Yep. Sex workers is why I saw the headline. Yes, indeed.
Workers, I prefer the old-fashioned term for them.
Do you think he misheard when the government said that you need to be
key workers,
and he misread that for sex workers?
It's possible, yeah. Shocking. But anyway, Christopher, strikers for you?
Nice and simple for me. I've gone for Wayne Rooney. Same reason as Andrew, is England's highest goal scorer. Great player. Yeah. And Michael Owen. He's probably some of my earliest memories for England were of Michael Owen, the goal against Argentina. You know, can't fault the man. Ballon d'Or winner, 2001. What a man.
Yeah. I haven't seen that goal against Argentina for a while. I might watch it after this little chat and reminisce.
He brushes somebody off, doesn't he, as he runs through the big bulldozing defenders. I can't remember who it was, but
he's just got momentum and he goes with it, and he brushes past the defensive midfielder, I think, whatever. You know, does a little shimmy to the right, takes the ball past the defender, and then hits a ball like beautifully into the top corner. It's just one of those, and even he afterwards, he sort of puts his hand to his side and is like, I've just done that. It's just an incredible piece. Like 10 seconds of football. It's just incredible.
I think he was only 18 at the time or something, wasn't he, when that happened?
Yeah, very young.
Closest thing to that I've seen in recent times was my goal on Thursday night, where I hit a volley back across myself.
All right. Anyway, so we move on. We move on. Comparing yourself to Michael Owen, right? Managers then. Chris, have you come up with your favourite England manager during that period?
Yeah, I have actually.
Go on then.
I've never been a massive fan of any England manager, to be honest. Didn't like Sven. Didn't like Capello.
No.
But again, the reason I picked this guy is because of the magical memories of the summer of 2018, Well, that's the man in the waistcoat, Mr. Gareth Southgate.
That's fair enough. Absolutely, I'm chuffed for the job he's doing. To be honest with you, I don't think whenever he leaves, I don't think anyone will ever say, "Oh, you're a shit manager, isn't he? It's crap." I think he's done really well.
It's one of the most exciting summers for English national football for decades, couple of decades.
Yeah,
since 1966, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably.
But just to throw a little thing in there, is that because of Gareth Southgate, or is that because our expectation or whatever was a lot lower? So we all felt any achievement was better, or was that because of Southgate and the way they played?
There was something magic in the air that summer, Craig. Don't question it. Don't fight it.
I don't be a devil's advocate. I'm just saying the expectation papers were very much however we do is great, and so the expectation was very low. So obviously we achieved well, and we did pretty well. Was that because of that, or was it because we actually played well as a team, or the style we played? I'm just putting that out there.
I think it was a combination of a number of things.
Yeah.
I think we had a fortunate draw.
Yeah.
We didn't play any particularly difficult teams. I didn't think Croatia were great.
No, to be honest, no. We should have beat Croatia.
We performed poorly. Second half.
Yeah.
Well, throughout the whole tournament, we just sort of dwindled second half every game. I don't know if you thought the same.
Yeah. I think it was the manager.
Obviously wasn't training them properly, was he?
A great chant, well though. The old Southgate song's one of the best ones we've heard in years, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest, Chris, saying that is the thing is, hopefully from that, then he'll learn from that tournament, and we did great in it, and there's all massive hype from it. So hopefully, I'll learn from that, and we'll do better in future tournaments. My manager, I went with Terry Venables, mainly based around Euro '96, but just liked the man. I don't, and this is a debate, I suppose, but I would like an English manager. What are you laughing at, Andrew?
Have you checked out any other tournaments in this period since other than '96?
Yes, I have, Andrew. Yes, I have. I don't like Sven. I like Capello. I like an English manager. And Terry Venables reminded me very much of Bobby Robson, the way he spoke to the players, the way he was with the players. And so, therefore, Terry Venables.
What about Roy Hodgson?
No, not at all.
The
thing with Roy Hodgson is he did what was expected, and therefore he was happy. He got to a few quarterfinals, and he was like, "Yeah, that's all right. I'm doing well there." I never felt he was ever going to take us to the final, never. He's not got the capability, just as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, Terry Venables for me, Andrew. You, and don't say Roy Hodgson.
Well, I had two on my list, and I've narrowed it down to one, just through pure golden moments, I suppose. So for me, it's Steve McLaren.
Whatever. Move on.
The Wally and the Brawley.
I was going to say, I was going to ask after who's the worst England manager, but there was no point in asking it, was there? What an idiot.
But Steve McLaren, there's not just the Wally with the Brolly, the whole going to the Netherlands and pretending you can speak the language by putting "sh" on the end of every sentence is just magical.
Maybe we'll tag that on the Facebook page. The irony was Terry Venables was his assistant manager, but carry on.
Really?
Yeah. Alan Shearer was asked, and he turned it down, and then Terry Venables took it.
When McLaren was England manager?
Yeah.
Not
2006.
Yeah, where he was.
Embarrassing. Carry on. Go on
then. It was Gareth Southgate.
Okay, I can't hear you now. What's happened to your mic?
Oh, have I gone on mute?
That's better now. It's better.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate.
Fair enough. Same reasons as Chris. More to elaborate?
Nah, just. I think it's we're in a good moment. We've got a good young team, and he seems to be. He says, and he's really good in press conferences and with the media. He knows. I don't know whether he's been trained or not, but he seems to say the right things, and he's quite honest as well. He doesn't give it the whole kind of sort of toe the party line sort of stuff. If he thinks we haven't done very well, he'll say so.
Yeah. I like Southgate. And I was very strange. I don't know. I was a bit like when he was appointed. I was a bit like, is this the right thing?
Same.
But after the first few games, I was, won over. I think he's a good manager for us.
I think he is lucky that he's sort of come in at a time when we have got such an exciting bunch of players that actually want to play for England as well coming through.
But in defence to him as well, for that point, Chris, is he's trying these players out. He's out giving them a go. I mean, he's experimenting a lot. There's a lot of new players that are coming in. And he's saying, you know what, have a go. And if they perform, for certain, Southgate will go, okay, yeah, you're in the squad, and I'll give you a chance. Which is, brilliant. And all the players want to then try and get in the team because they know they can. And I think this is, again, another tangent, but I think a lot of, over the last however many years, especially when we've been supporting England and what we remember, the team was always, very generally speaking, set in its way. So that's the starting 11. We know who's starting 11. Oh, John Terry's a great centre-back. Sol Campbell. They're all like, I don't know, it was more like a safe selection. There was never any oddballs thrown in. Theo Walcott, I think, in 2006, was thrown in as a sort of random wildcard, which didn't work, by Sven. But other than that, I mean, generally speaking, it was kind of set down, other than the squad, who was actually going to be that starting 11. And there was never anyone else tried out, really. I think it was always a bit difficult to get in the team. So I find it quite difficult to choose my England 11 in that sense.
Here's one for you then.
Go on.
Talking about players that have played for England, I did a little bit of research. Since 1996, there are 38 players that have played for England only once. So the old one-cap wonders.
Yeah.
Can you name any?
There's a couple.
Matt Jarvis.
I've got it. That's one of the ones I've written down. I've got 3 written down here that I thought were just really pretty random. Matt Jarvis, Dean Ashton, and Seth Johnson.
Yeah. I've got Dominic Solanke, Gavin McCann. I was like, who's Gavin McCann? And looked up and he played for Sunderland, apparently.
I was going to say, like for Sunderland.
I'm like, what? Gavin McCann? Who's he? And then Michael Ricketts. Michael Ricketts is the one for me. So I did post to you guys players who should never played for England or mention this at some point who shouldn't have actually played for England. Michael Ricketts. Why? Why was he ever called up for England? He scored 15 goals in one season. He played for England, and then basically, after that point in February, never scored again in the Premiership. Like what? And that season, why was he ever picked? So, are there any other people you felt basically that shouldn't have played for England? Why they even picked in the first place?
Absolutely. I was going to go to a quick wee.
Oh, go on then, Chris. You're welcome to a toilet break. Go on, Andy, carry on.
Well, just before you move off the topic of one cap wonders,
go on.
There is a player who's only got 1 cap, but I think it's worth mentioning as somebody that might actually go on to play quite a few more games for England if he's lucky and stays injury free. Danny Ings.
Yeah, absolutely. I know he's got the 1 cap and he's playing very well. He was playing very well for Southampton. The problem with this break is you lose form, don't you? But should he be included? What strikers have we got at the moment? Harry Kane will be back in there. What other strikers would you put in the England squad at the moment?
Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Well, there'd only be those 2 as out and out, and you'd have your Sterling, Sancho complement.
Rashford.
Oh, Rashford.
Yeah. You'd have Vardy, but obviously he's retired. I mean, so Danny Ings in with the shout.
He's only got 1 cap, but he could definitely go on to have more if he stays injury free.
Absolutely. And the thing with Dominic Solanke is I've got to put Solanke down, but because why has he even got that cap? What's he actually done to deserve that cap is my question. Which is why I think sometimes Gareth Southgate can go too far and go, oh, he's young, let's try him out. It's just he hasn't done it.
He's never done much in the Premier League, has he?
No.
Yeah, but Just remember, though, with Dominic Solanke, where Southgate came from, which was the younger levels of England, Solanke was like top scorer in like under 19s tournaments and stuff, wasn't he? So he has done it in England, just at a lower age bracket.
I know, but you got to go off, surely you've got to go off form, and he's never really had any form at Liverpool, and then he's gone to Bournemouth and probably not had the opportunity, I suppose, but still really never showed it. So. But who knows? In the future, who knows?
He probably got the cap because he'd scored a load of goals at the younger age group, and he just signed for Liverpool.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably why.
It's wrong really for me, but it could have turned out to be a great thing. If you look at the likes of Owen and whatever who played young, but he kind of proven it before that. I don't know. Anyone else you guys have got who shouldn't have played for England, as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, I have actually.
Go on, Chris.
I've got a real bone to pick with this one because he's a current England player, and he always gets picked in the squad. And quite frankly, it makes me sick.
It's a bit extreme. Go on then.
Fabian Delph.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get in the bin.
I've got one.
Yeah, go on.
I don't rate him for a second. I'm not having it.
I don't know why he's in the team. He's not really performed at Everton, who after Man City you think played Man City, he should do something for Everton, but he hasn't, has he?
With Pep as well, you'd thought he'd have developed some sort of technical nous, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but no, nothing.
He's 2-footed, isn't he? He's got 2 feet. Can play with both feet, I suppose.
Has he? Has he got any feet? Really?
I'm sure he has.
Exactly. No, I don't rate him. Don't rate him at all. And another fact that I found out, and I was very surprised at, Danny Welbeck. How many caps do you reckon he got?
Probably got a few.
50.
Andy, hazard a guess?
Well, at the risk of me going on to Google and looking, probably 35.
I think I've written it down, but I think 62.
Wow.
It's
a lot, isn't it? You think
scoring record either for England, does he?
No, you think it's really strange. I don't know why he had 62 caps. I don't know how many of a sub. I just saw the thing on the screen. I was like, 62 caps? A bit bizarre.
He's been around the England setup for a long time.
Oh, I know. He was in and out, yeah.
He's another one. He'd get picked for the squad, whether he was playing, whether he was performing. He was just part of the England setup, and he just get picked regardless.
And this is where I think a lot of things fell down, where people just picked because they were generally quite consistent to a point in the team, and they never actually looked farther afield. So I also said about players who underperformed in the English shirt. So not necessarily that they should have been there, they're good players, but who actually underperformed. So go on.
Eric Dyer.
Yeah. Well, Eric Dyer's underperforming for his current team.
He underperforms full stop.
Yeah.
Big troll.
You could look at a lot of England players. The team that were primed as the amazing, the Scholes and Scholes played all right.
Generation underperformed just in general.
Exactly. Lampard naturally, Gerrard to a point. You've got a lot of players who didn't play that well during that period because they should have won tournaments as far as everyone else is concerned. And I believe that to be the case as well. But are there any other players that you think of that really, should have done better when they were in the England kit?
Rob Green.
Do you know what? I've literally forgotten about Rob Green. Literally forgotten about Rob Green completely.
It was Rob Green in goal against USA, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Let that goal in.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about him. Completely forgot about him.
That's underperforming, in my opinion.
That is. That's very underperforming. I think I've thrown you a question that you're not ready for, boys. I've got David Bentley down.
Oh yeah.
Very good player, very talented. Didn't do now for the England team. Robbie Fowler. Again, the problem with him is opportunities.
Yeah, I agree.
Danny Murphy.
Too many better at the time.
You, Andy?
Danny Murphy.
Difficult though. I don't know. I think he played to his kind of standard at Liverpool for England. He was a I don't know.
McManaman.
Yeah, McManaman definitely. I got Kieran Dyer. But did he really perform at club level?
Yeah.
He's all right.
About old Gaza Baza,
Who?
Gareth Barry.
Yeah. Joey Barton. Great player.
Lovely man.
Yeah,
Lovely man.
yeah.
Um,
I've got Joe Barton in my list of players who, in my worst England players, to be honest.
have you?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Okay, so I've got a question that was put to me. Bear with. Okay, so I'll play us to you.
What's the biggest sliding doors moment in English football history in your lifetime?
So that's a question from Sonny. This good old Sonny Gruel, who has been pestering me no end since we sent out the first video on YouTube to try and get on the show. So, what's your pestering? I mean, on the phone all the time. What's your sliding doors moment? It's basically your what if moment. What if this had happened? What would have, what would have made a difference? Could it have been the catalyst for something else or whatever? So, I'll come to you first, Andy. What's your what if moment? Your sliding door moment?
There was a couple of obvious ones that I thought that you mentioned to us earlier on today as possible ones, but then I suddenly just thought to myself, if Harry Kane had squared the ball to Raheem Sterling against Croatia, we would have won the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's it.
1-0 down.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
1-0 up, I mean.
Well, when we were 1-0 up, Harry Kane went through and he could have squared it to Sterling for an absolute tapping because the keeper was already coming towards Kane. All he had to do was square it. Sterling taps it in. It's 2-0. We're in the final and we go on and win it, I would say.
On the other hand, that Croatia, because he had two bites of the apple, whatever the phrase is.
Forbidden fruit.
Didn't he? Because he like the keeper saved the first shot, and then it came back to him, didn't it?
Yeah.
Then he got another one. Defender sliding in on the line, one of the most incredible blocks you're ever going to see, onto the post.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
But
Yeah.
again, if he'd have just squared it in the first place, tapping goal, 2-0, game over probably.
Yeah.
And yet they're in your top 11 team, which is just beyond me, to be honest.
Yeah.
But no, it's true. It's true. We probably would have gone on and won it. We played that well and that consistently. We were that solid that it's just so devastating that we lost to Croatia. It really was.
We could have sat back against that Croatia team, and they wouldn't have done any damage to us.
No, not at all. They were there for the taking, weren't they? Which was the most disappointing thing. Mine was to put.
Was it Euro 96?
Do you know what? It was actually. Southgate's missed penalty in '96.
Get off, Craig.
I'll tell you why. We had that much
Very
momentum.
little
We
research.
had that much momentum. It was at home. He missed that penalty. If we'd beaten the Germans, we'd have won that tournament. No question about it. No question about it. So Southgate for me. I put the penalty loss to Portugal in 2006 as well. I think the squad there, if you look back at all the squads of the last how many years, that was our kind of best squad, and I think we'd have probably won the tournament or at least gone to the final. I looked at the Euro 96 squad actually.
The only squad you looked at.
What?
Because it was the only squad you looked at.
No, right. So Euro 96 looks at it, right? And you look at some of the players on it. So the starting 11 are generally given. You got Tony Adams, Paul Ince, Stuart Pearce, Neville at 21 was starting right back. David Platt, Gascoigne, Sheringham, Shearer, Darren Anderton was fit for this tournament, so he was in. Well, you look at some of the subs. So you got Steve Stone in the squad.
Oh,
Right. Euro 96. How old do you think he is in this tournament?
34.
How old do you think he is in Euro 96, Chris? Do you even know who Steve Stone is, Chris?
Yeah, old guy.
Accurate.
He's the East Midlands Xavi.
I think he's
Yes.
I think he's 34.
24 at Euro 96.
Wow.
You believe that?
I can't believe Steve Stone was ever 24.
I was shocked. And tell you something else that's surprising in Euro '96. Phil Neville was in the squad at 19.
Wow.
That is incredible.
He was doing wonders at that age. All fell apart
Well,
after that.
I'll tell you what. I think it was picked to look after Gary, to be honest. Okay, and that then concludes the old Chatton boys, I think. So something to mention then. So the Facebook page, we're going out live soon. We'll advertise that and get that sorted. And then I believe, and Andrew pointed to it before, and the next kind of video chat, whatever, will be live, I believe. Are we going for live on Facebook next week?
We can certainly give it a go, can't we? Maybe
Yeah,
get a few questions and comments or something as we go through it.
So, for anyone watching this, if there's anyone who's watching this and particularly enjoys it and will want to watch us live next week, next Wednesday, get on the page.
Find us on
After
Facebook.
Delight, CCA, Facebook.
CCA.
We'll put the old Twitter account on there, the email address on there, so you know. The logo will be on there soon. I know you're all going to be really excited about that.
What's the email address if they want to send some questions in?
Email address, afternoondelight, cca@hotmail.com. But Facebook, if you want to ask questions on there, feel free. Load the wall with loads of posts, and we'll look at that. And I think we won't propose a subject.
Comment down below.
Comment down below. Comment below. Yeah, anything. Right now.
If we assume that we're lucky enough to get any questions before next week's thing, we'll start next week's live stream with answering whatever questions have come in.
Indeed. So we won't propose any kind of subject now. We'll see what questions come in, and we'll formulate it from that, and we'll see what everyone wants to say.
And when
we
no
realise we don't have any questions,
when no questions come in, when no questions come in, I'll intervene and I'll propose something last minute. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Share it everywhere, and let's get trending. I'll speak to you boys soon. Thanks very much.
Lovely.
And just remember, stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives, and we'll be back stronger.
Wash your hands. All right.
Wash your hands. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.